again and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be what I eat in a day because I am 34 weeks pregnant and I recently found out that I have gestational diabetes. So today is going to be basically what I am eating to kind of keep that under control. It's actually the first day that I'm going to be measuring my blood glucose. If you guys know a lot about gestational diabetes and you have any tips, I really want you to let me know because it's been a rough transition. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you kind of like typically what I eat, and then we're gonna find my blood glucose levels together. Okay, so this is breakfast. I did 2 eggs with 4 like small sausage links that are chicken and maple, and a stick of like snackable pepper jack cheese. I was gonna do mozzarella, but then I saw that it had some carbs in it, so I opted for the pepper jack instead. And then this sola bread. This bread has 7 grams of carbs in it per slice, and I think 3 of them are fiber. So let me see. Yeah, 4 of them are fiber, so it's really only 3 grams of carbs. I think I'm having total overall, including fiber, I'm having about 9 grams of carbs for breakfast. Okay, so real quick, I just wanted to kind of chat while I have my morning coffee. It's just plain black coffee. I don't always have it, but sometimes I need it. So I found out that I had gestational diabetes 2 weeks ago, I think, when I was like 32 weeks, because I failed my first blood glucose at like 29 weeks, and I was fasting. Like, you don't have to fast, but I was fasting and I failed it. And then they did the 3-hour glucose test that I also failed, and I was fasting for that one as well, and I failed the fasting portion and the 2-hour and 3-hour. The general rule is that if you fail 2 of them, you're considered to have gestational diabetes. And so since I failed 3 of them, I was diagnosed. There was a lot of negative feelings associated with finding out that I had gestational diabetes, and I was kind of in denial. But the reality is that, yeah, my diet wasn't the best. I've gained like 40 plus pounds probably, but I didn't really care about that. I had this mentality that when you're pregnant is the time to just eat whatever you want, but obviously that comes with consequences other than weight gain. And I do think that my diet was contributed to me getting gestational diabetes. However, the nurse explained to me that at 28 weeks, you start releasing a hormone called, I always forget the name, but it's a hormone that you start producing at 28 weeks. That's why they give you a blood glucose at 28 weeks usually. And that can cause insulin resistance. A more controlled diet could help like bring those levels down. I was like, I'm never eating a carb again. And for like 3 days, I was so miserable. I don't know what's gone into her, but anyways, as I was saying, that's not sustainable. And I only did it for 3 days and it was awful. I lost too much weight in that short amount of time, and I felt awful. So I started, you know, doing a little bit of research. I feel a lot better about it now, and that's why I'm making this video, because I hope that, you know, it reaches somebody that is maybe going through the same thing. The transition is difficult, but it is worth giving it a try. I've known people that inject insulin because they cannot control it through their diet for one reason or another, and I really want to try to avoid that. But we'll just see what the next 2 weeks say. And yeah, that's why I'm filming this on my first day, is just to show kind of like the process, and that it is difficult, but it's doable. So the rule is you measure in the morning when you wake up. It's like your fasted glucose level, and then every 2 hours after every meal. I took my blood glucose in the morning and it was 89. I'll put a clip of me taking my blood glucose. I didn't film me actually doing the process because it was early in the morning and I just didn't think to do it. But I did film the result. I had my breakfast at 10, which is like the breakfast that I showed. And in 2 hours, I'm going to take my blood glucose. But before that, I'm going to exercise. I recently joined a gym just so that I can get some physical activity in because I wasn't doing any physical activity. We're actually gonna go now and we'll see how it goes. Workout might not seem like a lot to some people, but at my weight, it's a lot for me. I'm in the restroom. It's been about 2 hours since I finished eating breakfast, so I'm going to wash my hands and take my blood sugar level here in the bathroom before I leave. And this is a baby bump. 34 weeks. The black is slimming, I think, but it's a big belly. She measured at 4 pounds, 1 ounce last time, which was at 32 weeks, I think, the 32-week growth ultrasound, and I'm measuring like right on time, so she's not getting too big. I have another scan at 36 weeks, in 2 weeks, at 36 weeks, where they're gonna check her growth again. When you have gestational diabetes, there's a risk that the baby grows too big, which can cause other problems, but that's one of the things that they look out for. So I'm gonna have another scan, which usually they don't do, but I'm gonna have another scan at 36 weeks just to make sure that she's still growing okay and not growing too fast. But so far everything's been good, so let's hope that it keeps going well and she just grows at her normal rate. Almost 3 and the day got away from me. We were running errands and I went to the gym. As you saw, my blood glucose has been pretty low today. I haven't eaten and I exercised, as you saw. So I'm very hungry and I'm going to eat like, I think a pretty substantial amount of carbs. Let me show you what I'm eating. So under there I have a Greek yogurt and then I just have pineapple chunks and then I'm gonna munch on the core. I didn't measure it out, but this might be a lot, but I'm just hungry. So I'm gonna eat this, and depending how I feel, I will also be eating this leftover. It's not really leftover. We were cutting it up for Romy and she didn't want it. So I'm gonna eat this sushi. So I ended up eating the sushi and the pineapple with yogurt, but I had leftover yogurt, so I put a bit of frozen strawberries in and I'm just sitting here munching. When I finished eating the sushi, I felt the life return to my body. No regrets. We'll see in 2 hours if I have any regrets. This is the 3rd time I'm taking my my reading. Okay, so ow, prick it. And then I have to wait. You don't need it a lot at all. It's just a little bit. Okay, so it's measuring 93. 93 is the reading, which is really good. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that my readings are so low, but it's like, it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, even though I'm following the directions exactly as they are. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, it's 5:40 and I'm having sushi again because I'm really hungry. So I'm gonna have sushi, and I'm also gonna have like, I'll just show you. Okay, so with 2 sticks of pepper jack cheese, these are like snacking cheeses, and I'm just gonna wrap like 2 or 3 pepperonis on each cheese. I'm just really hungry, so I think this warrants like a good meal. I showered, and I might look a little bit different, but it's still the same day. It's like 8:15 or something like that. I took my final blood glucose and I didn't film it. I did film like the actual result, which was 89 again. I think. I always forget. I'm so glad that I'm filming it because I keep forgetting. But I didn't film myself actually like pricking myself because I already did that twice, and it was just late. I just want to rest. I think today was a success. I'm really, really happy with the levels that I had today. Hi. It wasn't like a typical day, but I do try to maintain or to not eat as many carbs. So that is typical, but it's good to know that that is actually working. Romy. You want me to do it? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I just feel really motivated to keep on doing things the way that I do them. I wish that I would have had like a more typical day where I'm not so busy and I have time to actually like make something for dinner. I was gonna make a stir fry with like lots of veggies and chicken and these like special noodles that I bought that are like, I don't know exactly what they're called, but it's like a special noodle that's not made from carbohydrates, if that makes sense. I'll try to, if I remember, I'll insert a picture. But I just didn't feel like it. The protein to carb is a bit disproportionate, and I did eat a little bit over what the recommended serving size for carbohydrates is for a meal. But overall, I did great and my levels looked great. This was my first day measuring my levels and it couldn't have gone any better. I usually don't push my lunch out so far, but I was busy and I didn't want to just grab whatever in the store. And I'm proud of myself because pre-diagnosis, I would have just grabbed like a sandwich or something from Starbucks. But now I just like stop myself and think, how is this going to affect my levels? Even though I didn't really know before, I knew like in my head, it's like I shouldn't have like all these carbs just because I'm hungry. I should wait until I can eat a reasonable meal, which I did. I'd rather do that than eat like, you know, 150 grams of carbs in one sitting, which I used to do before all the time, but now I don't. I hope that if you're struggling with this, that you find strength to control your diet and exercise more. I really feel like the exercise, I don't exercise every day, but I do feel like it helps. I hope that this video was helpful in some way. And thank you for joining me on my first day of measuring my blood glucose levels. I hope that you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys for watching. And until next time, bye. 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 Bye.